next time you meet me in Gate City. Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Our friend is Cody, and we not having a good day.
Smack dab in the middle of all that. That was beautifully said, and I love that you said when you have a microphone in hand. And we were able to do it.
It's about just showing up.
Yeah.
What up, world? Welcome back. Welcome home. Welcome for the first time. Thank you for coming into another episode of Cody Central. I've got an awesome show in store for you tonight. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Make sure you drop a comment. Let us know what city and state you're watching from. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe already. We got a really cool one in store for tonight. First things first, I'm going to kick this thing off the way I have been the last couple weeks. I want to send a huge shout out to my friend Angela. She runs a company called Photography by Ann Rova. She's out supporting the live music photography scene and all sorts of businesses and stuff like that. And so she actually took the initiative to sponsor the show a couple weeks back, and that contribution was super helpful to me keeping this thing going. So until we have another sponsor, I'm going to keep running her ad every week. And if you guys need live show photography, promotional photography, anything of the sort, here's a little bit of info to check out on her. So a huge shout out to Angela. Really appreciate her support in the show. And big shout out to my boy Danny Henn from Schoolyard Pro. He was the first sponsor that we had on the program. If you guys want to learn more about how you can donate to the show, get your event plugged, get your service, get anything that you want to promote, you can, with a small donation, I'll make a video and plug it into the program the way that we did that ad. So the link will be scrolling down below if you want to learn more about that. And let's get some music going and get into some shit that we were watching and listening to this week. Shout out to everybody in the chat so far. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. It looks like our YouTube following is where we're at tonight, which I love. As I say every week, we're really trying to build up the YouTube following for Hellhound Publishing. Obviously there's certain benchmarks that we got to hit in order to like monetize and do live chats and different things like that. So we always appreciate the support over there. Want to talk about music of the week first. So for music of the week, this has been kind of an interesting one. If you guys haven't been following, there's been an evolving war of words between Joey Badass and seemingly a number of West Coast artists. Things are just getting more interesting week by week. A new entry dropped today that was extremely wild, and I wanted to talk about that, but I realized without context it might not impact as much. So I want to talk about a joint that came out, it was like 3 weeks back. Famous battle rap legend, songwriter, hip-hop musician, Daylight dropped this brilliantly thoughtful yet scathing response to the whole Joey situation in a track called Backpack, which there's a music video for on YouTube. In Backpack, he literally goes on to predict all of the oncoming diss topics, punchlines, everything that was going to come his way in the incoming weeks. He seemingly just laid it all out right there, and Joey Badass and them still went with it anyways. His way with the wordplay is going to be dissected for a long time to come. This was just such a chess move track, and he's followed it up with a couple other joints as well. And so if you guys are really interested in seeing this war of words that's going on between all of these different musicians and different parts of the country, definitely check out Backpack by Daylight, Daylyt. If you're not familiar, Daylight is a huge battle rap legend from the early 2000s. You might recognize him. He has the Spawn face tattoo, which is pretty wild. So definitely check that out. That's going to be dope. I haven't plugged a new music ad yet because, like I've been saying, I don't want to just keep barreling you guys, but I'll just take a moment. Giant Steps in Gate City, available on all streaming platforms. Please run it up. Got tons of new music coming soon, but there's a lot of people that still haven't even heard that yet. So if you like the album, spread the word, tell somebody, grab a CD while they last, hellhoundpublishing.com. Let's get into movie of the week. This was pretty interesting because it wasn't something that I sought out. So my movie of the week is a movie called Bone Tomahawk that came out in 2014. And the director was S. Craig Zoller, who I couldn't tell you anything about, to be totally honest. But it just it looked like a crazy movie anyways, and it had Kurt Russell and Patrick Wilson and Matthew Fox and a bunch of people in the cast. So it was, my fiance wanted to watch it, so I just was like, all right, I'm down, let's check it out. And basically, to give you a little summation of what it's about, during a shootout in a saloon, Sheriff Hunt injures a suspicious stranger. The doctor's assistant, the wife of a local foreman, tends to him in prison. That night, the town is attacked and they both disappear. Only the arrow of a cannibal tribe is found. Hunt and a few of his men go in search of the prisoner and the foreman's wife. So it's cool because they filmed it as it's filmed with modern technology. Obviously, they didn't try and do anything like that, but the story is just very reminiscent of those old 30s and 40s westerns, and it's super crazy. I don't want to spoil much, but what I will say is that I had no idea what to expect or why my fiance randomly put this on, but it turned out to be quite enjoyable. It's an awesome blend of western, action, and nearly horror as well. It takes a bit to get into it, but there's these really cool gory horror elements to it that you're just it gives you a holy shit kind of moment within what you think is going to be a more traditional western. Tremendous output by such a carefully curated cast of actors. Everybody in this feature is just bringing everything they got. I gave it a 3.5 on wow, you think I remember this? We talk about it every week. 3.5 stars on Letterboxd, and I'm definitely gonna rewatch it and look more into what these directors are working on as well, because I don't know how this one kind of passed me by, but it did, and it was really dope. And I think it was just on Netflix, honestly. So if you've got Netflix, be sure to check out Bone Tomahawk. You can find it everywhere. And as I tell you guys every week, if you want to see more of my movie reviews, if you want to see watch lists, if you want to see things from other directors, all this kind of stuff, I encourage you guys to follow me on Letterboxd. All we do is talk about movie stuff there and a little more about Letterboxd here. So you guys will have to let me know in the comments if you've seen that or not, or if you heard any of those diss tracks in the Joey Award too. Let me know if you guys got up on that, because I'm interested to hear what people think. It kind of just seemingly came out of nowhere. Let me run through some shows like we do every week, and as I let you guys know, if you have an event, whether it's a music event, pop-up shop, food truck thing, fashion show, poetry reading, independent movie screening, repertory movie screening, whatever shit you got going on, send me an email at codycentralshow@gmail.com, And if it sounds like an event that I would want to be at, if it sounds like something that I would support, even if it's not in my like drivable area, I will plug it if it sounds like something that I'm into. So I encourage you guys to check that out. Big shout out to my brother Ryan, first one up in the chat tonight. Much love, brother. Appreciate you. Always one of the first here. And with that said, let's run through some shows. Every Sunday night at the Shaftskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire is Rap Night Manchester, a residency going on over 12 years now, run by the homies DJ Myth, Sean Caliber, and I9. Every Sunday night, starting at 9 o'clock, there's open ciphers and artist showcases. It's $5 to get in. It's 21 plus, but you can count on it every week. Get your reps in and see some of the most talented artists throughout the entire country and more. Also, with that in mind, every Thursday, the Laugh Attic at Strange Brew in Manchester, New Hampshire is a comedy open mic showcase hosted by one of our previous guests, Danny P. There's open mic slots for comedians if you want to try out new material, or if you want to get your feet wet for the first time, or if you're just looking for a show that's going to entertain you and make you laugh and you just want to do a good time. This is one of the most thoughtfully curated shows, one of the most like passionate group of comedians. I definitely check out the episode that Danny P and Andrew McGinnis was on, as well as Andrew's first episode on our program too. They're bringing all sorts of amazing talent through there all the time. That's every Thursday at the Laugh Attic at Strange Brew in Manchester, New Hampshire. Now, let's get into some good shit. Wednesday, May 21st, 28 Days Later is screening at the Coolidge Corner Theater. For one night only, the iconic movie 28 Days Later is going to be screening at Coolidge Corner in Cambridge, and they're also going to have an exclusive first look at the upcoming 28 Years Later, too. If you know me, you know I love movies. Coolidge Corner Theater is one of my favorite places to see movies. I can guarantee you this is going to be a phenomenal time. And Friday, May 23rd, live instrumentation, hip hop, and soul group The Evolutionists, led by Ruby Shabazz and Fee the Evolutionist, including Zeke Martin, Dom Davis, and Joe Mazzarella, are going to be playing at Warp and Weft in Lowell, Massachusetts. Also, on Friday, May 23rd, my homie Lil James, who was supposed to be on the show a couple weeks ago, his band, Rap Blood, has their upcoming album release show for their album Impure. That's going to be Friday, May 23rd at Taffeta Music Hall in Lowell, Massachusetts. Make sure you go follow them for more information. James, I hope you're happy that I plugged that. Now you owe me an interview in the future. Love you, buddy. Saturday, April 24th, catch one of the most iconic 80s death metal bands, Obituary, tearing it up at the Worcester Palladium alongside one of my favorite hardcore bands of all time, Terror. That's going to be a phenomenal show. May 31st to June 1st is Tied Down Fest in Detroit, Michigan. You're going to be able to see American Nightmare, Speed, Judge, The Wrong Side, Hope Conspiracy, Fiddlehead, Trial, tons and tons more of legendary hardcore bands. This is going to be one of the most memorable fests of the year. If you can make your way to Detroit, check that out. Saturday, June 7th is UFC 316. If you've watched the show, you know I'm going to be talking about that. Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley. That's going to be on pay-per-view. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. We're going to talk about it. We're going to find somewhere cool to watch it and get debaucherous. Thursday, June 12th, wild California-based rock hybrid band Fever 333 is going to be playing at Taffeta Music Hall in Lowell, Massachusetts. Saturday, June 14th, Converge, Cave-In, Defeater, and more come together at the Brooklyn Monarch in Brooklyn, New York for a celebration of life show for legendary hardcore show promoter and contributor Rich Hall. Rest in peace. Also on Saturday, June 14th, UFC Fight Night, Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley, the former pound-for-pound #1 and former champion, takes on the fast-rising prospect. Thursday, June 19th, legendary hip-hop stalwart Rakim makes his way to Portland, Maine for Oxbow Brewing for a legendary night. Saturday, June 21st, Connecticut hardcore royalty, Death Threat, and one of Rhode Island's most impactful hardcore bands of all time, Product of Waste, are going to be playing at Alchemy in Providence, Rhode Island. Colin from Colin of Arabia is going to be singing for Product of Waste. Rest in peace, T. That is going to be a phenomenal night. Saturday, June 21st is also UFC Fight Night. Khalil Roundtree Jr. versus Jamal Hill. The rising light heavyweight prospect and title challenger, one of my favorite fighters, Khalil Roundtree Jr., is taking on the former light heavyweight champion, Jamal Hill. Thursday, June 26th, Boldy James, the frequent Alchemist collaborator and Griselda Records Detroit native, is going to be bringing his distinct hip-hop style to Boston's Brighton Music Hall. Friday, June 27th, New England punk and hardcore bands TFR and Pretty Ugly are going to be supporting Midwest heavy music act No Grave at Kodo in Lowell, Massachusetts. Saturday, June 28th, iconic Canadian post-rock group Godspeed You Black Emperor makes their return to Boston at Roadrunner for a long overdue rescheduled show performance featuring their avant-garde sonic and stage performance. That's going to be unreal. Also unreal, also on Saturday, June 28th as well, one of the most influential rock bands of the early 2000s makes their long-awaited return to the stage after years of hiatus. Brand New is going to be at the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts. Also that night, on Saturday, June 28th, is UFC 317. The vacant lightweight title belt is up for grabs. Former champs Charlie Oliveira and Ilya Topuria are going to be fighting it out for the vacant belt. Friday, July 11th, 90s emo legends Cap and Jazz are going to be doing a rare performance at Royale in Boston, Massachusetts. That same day, Friday, July 11th, the one, the only, the legendary Wu-Tang Clan's final tour is going to be hit in Boston, Massachusetts at the TD Garden alongside Run the Jewels. Tickets are already on sale and probably close to selling out. That will be the last time you will ever see Wu-Tang Clan in Boston, so do not miss out on that. Saturday, July 19th is UFC 318, the final fight from UFC legend Dustin Poirier taking on fellow legend Max Holloway in a historic third matchup. Wednesday, July 23rd, Oakland hip-hop legends Souls of Mischief, famous for tracks like 93 Till Infinity, are going to be making their way to Higher Ground in Burlington, Vermont for a special show. Saturday, July 26th, Street Power record release show featuring Colin of Arabia, the Mongoloids, and more is now moved to the Middle East downstairs in Cambridge. This show was originally at Sonia, and it sold out so fast that they moved it to the Middle East downstairs so that they could open up more tickets. So make sure you lock in and see some of the most gnarly hardcore bands of old and new alike and celebrate the upcoming release of Me Time by Street Power. Saturday, July 26th, UFC Fight Night, Rob Whittaker versus Rainier de Ritter. The former UFC champ takes on the former 2-weight 1 FC champ. Wednesday, July 30th, 2000s Brooklyn alternative indie rock giants TV on the Radio make their long-awaited return to Roadrunner in Boston, Massachusetts on a limited run of shows. Sunday, August 3rd, the legendary De La Soul is going to be featured at Newport Jazz Fest in Newport, Rhode Island that day. Saturday, August 9th, legendary stand-up comedian Louis C.K. makes his way to Foxwoods for a special night of pure, raw, unadulterated comedy at Foxwoods. Saturday, August 16th, UFC 319, title fight between Dricus du Plessis and Hamzat Chimaev. Thursday, August 21st, the 1980s Portsmouth, New Hampshire punk rock natives, the Queers, embark upon a stop at Taffeta Music Hall in historic Lowell, Massachusetts. Friday, August 29th, American industrial legends Nine Inch Nails embark upon a huge tour that stops at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Thursday, September 11th, there's going to be a screening of High Fidelity with John Cusack in person for a Q&A afterwards at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Sunday, September 21st, Stop Making Sense 4K re-release screening of the Talking Heads film. Originally, it came out in the 80s. The 4K re-release is going to be screened live at the Cabot Theater in Beverly, Massachusetts. And then there's going to be a live Q&A with Talking Heads guitarist Jerry Harrison afterwards. And lastly, Saturday, September 27th, Punk in the Park, Palladium Outdoors, Worcester, Massachusetts, Bad Religion, Pennywise, Comeback Kid, Face to Face, Adolescence, and more. So if you have an event coming up that you want me to consider plugging in the event run every week on Cody Central, shoot me an email with a flyer, with info, with anything I should know, codycentralshow@gmail.com. Make sure you get your tickets, get out to an event, and get out of your fucking house already. So with that said, let me jump to the comments. I haven't looked at the comments in a bit. Sorry, guys. Shout out to Michelle in the chat. Sorry if I offended you with my curse words. Shout out to Ryan who said Wu-Tang forever. That's right. It's crazy that some of us have had Wu-Tang exist in the entirety of our life from birth to now in our 30s and 40s and such. So what a historic thing to be a part of. With that said, I'm super excited to bring on my guests tonight. They agreed to do this with me last minute, so I'm super grateful to them anyways. Last minute seems to be a real recurring thing for us, for better or worse. For anybody that doesn't know, just 2 weeks ago, I debuted my first live band accompaniment of Cody Pope and the Keyholders. I was very fortunate to be joined by the two musicians that I'm going to be bringing on tonight, and I'm so excited for all the stuff that we're going to be doing in the future. Joining me live in studio tonight is my good friends and band members, guitarist Dane Beebe and drummer Axile Beighley. Fellas, what's up, guys?
How are you? Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
What's going
on, dude?
It's going on.
Chat, let us know how it sounds. Let us know if you guys can hear everybody. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got a good mix of YouTube and Facebook. So I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. Thanks for coming to the Hellhound Lounge.
That's what we do. We're rockers, man.
So you guys have much more profound musical careers than being members of Cody Pope and the Keyholders. And so could we start by kind of introducing yourself and some of the music projects that you may be more notable for right now?
And are you?
Yeah, so I'm Dane, and I play in a punk band called Vauli. We're from Nashua as well. And we've been playing lots of shows, and we've been showing up and playing really hard and really fast and sweating a lot. So it's been a lot of fun, and you should come see us.
Oh, okay. Pause for audience. Hi, I'm Axile Beighley. I'm a drummer that usually hits things with sticks. I'm in a couple of projects, one of which is Dead Harrison, as well as a new one about to drop on it, I think, and point to this way. Stone Shadows, we're debuting this Saturday. But me personally, I've been playing drums with Dead Harrison for about 6 years now. But like I've been playing drums in the scene for about almost 10 years now. So, like I do everything from punk to thrash to alternative.
He's a fantastic drummer, absolutely.
And this guy plays nasty guitar. Regular actual Gibson, right?
Yeah,
Gibson,
just regular 6-string electric guitar.
But still, like that's an iconic guitar.
It's just it's a good all-around guitar. You can play anything on it.
It's my buddy actually has a Gibson Flying V like repro from like the 70s and actually
Wow.
eggshell white. But like Gibsons are really profound with their attack.
I just want one in every color. So if we play more shows, I'll be able to buy more.
Go to more shows. Cody was right. Get out of your house. Go to more shows.
Give it up for Cody, by the way. His show's fantastic, and
This is a great setup.
just your delivery on everything and going through your motions. It's actually like pretty cool to watch. So very, very good. Very, very impressed.
Yeah, and the way that you have it structured in each individual casting, like you would. I like your setup, how it would go to different things of your marketing, where you're shouting out.
Thank you, man.
Very well thought out.
Cody Pope show rocks.
Yeah, like the just to be in like an open air or whatever. But like we've known each other for a better part of almost like 10 years now through channels, through people. But like I just recently, in the past couple of years, through other channels in the rap and producer world, getting to know your music, and there's not a lot of people that play your type of music or in this area stylized in this type of rap boom bap area. Not real anyway. Like you run with a very tight crew that's very real, authentic. Thank you. So thank you for letting us try to match your candor by playing as good as we can.
Yeah. So for anybody that wasn't at the show or wasn't kind of looped in on that, so to kind of put the whole story together now, as I mentioned at the top of the event listings, my good friends DJ Myth and Sean Caliber are constantly putting on events at the Shaskeen. They run Rap Night every single Sunday, as well as an event that Sean started a few years back called Sound Off Saturdays that happens like once a month, and it always is a different theme. And so the theme for May was rock and hip hop fusion. They had an awesome group. Shout out to my brothers, and we may be cousins, part of the Joe Grizzly tribe. They were already on the show, and they needed another act to perform with them. So Myth reached out to me and was like, "Do you know any rappers that have a live band?" And I was like, "I don't like that are going to be available in this time or this area or whatever. Like I don't have like a Rolodex like that anymore, unfortunately." And so we kind of just like tossed around like, well, maybe I could figure it out, because I grew up playing in bands and I've been doing music for the better part of my life now. And so I was like, I will try. I was like, I can't make any promises, but I will see what I can do. And so I just kind of did the old Facebook solicitation thing. And Axile was the first one to hit me up. And I think that was like 3 weeks out from the show. And so him and I got together with another guitar player, my childhood friend, Tori. Shout out to Tori.
Good dude.
And the three of us jammed, and we were like, okay, I think we can figure this out. It was like a little rocky, but we were like, we got enough time to make this happen. And then within like a week or so, Tori, his whole life took a left turn. And so he was like, yo, I can't commit to it. I'm sorry, guys. And so it was back to being me and Axile. And we were like, all right, you know what? We'll do this one way or another. If we don't find anybody, the two of us will do this and just say that we did it and hold my word. And Dane hit us up and was actually about to leave for a vacation. And to both of our surprises was like, yo, I'm heading out for a week. If I come back and you still need somebody, give me the word, send me the music, whatever. And he came back on, I think it was like May 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. The show was May 10th. So I sent him the music the day he got back. We got together that Tuesday. The three of us practiced as a trio for the first time. And then we went and rocked the show Saturday. And it turned out phenomenal. We had such a blast. We were in such a pocket together. The crowd was great. It was a super receptive crowd. A lot of people that none of us had performed to before, despite me having performed at the Shaskeen like numerous times. It was just such a fun show, and the music really came together really well. People were super excited about it, and so it made us really want to kind of lock this thing in with some glue and figure out how to push it further. And that's how we got to where we were at this moment. Shout out to Samantha in the chat. She said, Vauli.
What's up? What up, baby?
Appreciate her. She said, you guys did awesome. She was there, saw it live in person. That was like for our team, it was like a friends and family kind of thing, because I admittedly didn't do a great job at promoting it because I was losing sleep every day at the idea if I was going to be able to pull this thing off or not. And man, I just can't say enough about how proud I was to be up there rocking with these guys, how honored I was that they took so much initiative to learn these songs in their own time as tight as they did. The whole thing really just like meant so much to me. And so tonight was the perfect opportunity to not only talk about what we did as a group and how we got here, but also what these guys have been doing on their own and what has been keeping them going up until we got to this point. And so I'm excited for you guys to learn more about their history as musicians, the bands that they're in, gigs they have coming up, as well as just all the shit that we like that's gonna really, you know, be the cauldron of this Keyholder shit that we're doing. Big shout out to my brother Fee, the Evolutionist, in the chat. What up? Fee's like the OG of the live band rappers. Like I mentioned in the show scroll earlier tonight, Fee is part of a group called the Evolutionists. They have an incredible live backing band, and his wife Ruby Shabazz also fronts the band with him, and so their contrast of vocals is phenomenal. And so I'm excited to show you guys what we're cooking up with this Keyholder shit too. And with that said, let me let's just talk about some life shit.
First and foremost, I want to give a big, huge shout out to that group that was there for sound check.
Yeah, oh my god.
That
Okay.
was an amazing test.
Oh, what were they? The bar, not bar hoppers. They were
The running with the bulls bar crawl.
bar crawl. Exactly. Yeah, they were good folk.
All right, so
that was a good test.
Yeah, put some context to this for the people.
Oh man, this is dope. Fee said, excited for you guys. Can't wait to hear you guys live. Cody, this is perfect for you.
Oh, hell yeah, appreciate you.
Appreciate that so much. So funny story. So there was a running with the bulls bar crawl going on in Manchester. So we knew Myth basically was like, hey, can you guys show up a couple hours early for sound check so that you don't get caught in like the streets are gonna be blocked off and shit like that. So we were like, yeah, for sure. So we get up at like, I think like probably 6 or 6:30. Maybe Cousins is already sound checking there, so they're doing their thing. They get done, break down, we go load up. We're gonna go on first, so we're kind of just setting up as if we're ready to rock this thing when the thing opens. And as we like get later and later into like getting monitors turned on, getting cables checked, running microphones, all of a sudden it's nighttime and the bar crawl is like at the Shaskeen. They're like hitting all the bars on Elm Street. So we go from playing the first song in our set to just the bartenders and the sound guy to what, 40 something people probably. Like
it was like SpongeBob when like the anchovies came in when he had his fucking spatula.
Straight up.
Yeah.
So it was like,
and then they were gone. When they were gone, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was like 40 something people like all came in. They're all wearing white shirts with red bandanas, looking like fucking matadors. And they make a comment. They're like, oh my god, there's a band here for us. And so I'm literally like, we're actually just sound checking right now, but we could play a couple for you. And we played like 2 songs, I think, and they gave us a great reception. So it kind of gassed us up. It was like we got to do like a pre-show before the real show, because then when the bar, they had like a certain time and all those people left and the whole thing went back to being empty, and then we just like waited for the room to fill back up.
They were vibing with us. They were having a good time.
It was a fun.
I think we elevated them for sure.
Yeah, we definitely started off their area because they were already like in a pocket where if we didn't play music, they were probably gonna boo us. Just because we're up on stage and like, because as soon as we played like the first couple of beats and you started rapping, at least 2 people were like, oh man, there's music. And then everybody turned around. And then after the first one, they're like, yeah, play another. And we're like, okay. But like they were just so happy to be there. And like, we were just perfect at the exact same time that they were there. And like, it was a good response to the rest of the night, you know?
And definitely like made me feel better about like going into the show too. Like it was like, oh, we were this tight for like non-expected group of strangers. I was like, we got this.
Yeah.
I think we click well. I think there's just a natural thing there, and obviously more practice and all that stuff will make it better. But I think there's a good synergy for sure.
Yeah.
And Axile's the best drummer.
I mean, I do things. I try. It just comes down to just playing different things at a constant. Like I've never been one to just stay with like one genre or one particular place of playing. Like I always had a visualization of me playing anything that I liked, and lo and behold, I like a lot of things.
You got to live your truth, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't just play one thing. So like, even though like thrash and hard rock and metal were like my background growing up, a lot of rap came in like in the mid to late 90s with like R&B, late boom bap stuff, or like just old school stuff, like things you just don't hear that same way again.
Yeah.
And like I was at the right time in the right area, because I was living in Massachusetts at the time, and there was a lot more back then. There was a lot more diversity that I was listening in the radio. So like you would hear Limp Bizkit, but you would also hear Snoop or anything from like Twista or Tech or DMX was hard at the time. Rough Riders was like doing their thing. Eve was doing their thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of rap happening in the late 90s that had just had a stranglehold on radio and live broadcasting. So like between Nas, East Coast, West Coast, that formed at least something in my ears, because like I liked rock and metal, but hip hop was like, ooh, it formed its own like poetic thing with me, because I like lyricism. So like
I do too.
You know, if you can,
absolutely,
if you can make me relate into a story, then yeah, I like everything about it. So
I love rap and hip hop. I gotta thank my older brother for introducing me to that, because my parents, from my parents, I got Metallica and all the rock and all that sort of thing. But my brother was introduced me to D12 and 50 Cent and on and on and on and on. And I noticed your flyer in the back with Havoc of Mobb Deep, and you, like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Dude,
that's rad as hell.
And that was actually on my birthday too.
Really?
So,
oh man,
this is like, and it's funny. Brian posted this while you were talking when we were telling that story. He said how serendipitous, which like I really couldn't have thought of like a better way to describe like everything that happened in that like week's time. Like you picked things up, we all clicked. We had the thing with the sound check, and then the show just like going great. It was like we just were like, we literally put the pieces in the right places at the right time. And this was like another thing that this was honestly, this might have been like 10 years ago now. I think it was 2015. And the show was supposed to be a week earlier. Yeah. Which was like, I was like, I'm opening for Havoc. It could be on a Monday night at 1 a.m. and I'm going to be excited. I don't care. And something happened with like his travel or something. And so they had to push it back a week. Wow. And it just, so then the new date was my birthday. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I couldn't think of like a cooler way to spend my birthday than opening for Havoc. I mean, that's huge. Better is if Prodigy was still alive. Right. Happened. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Michelle said yes. Axile is the best drummer, and
Jonah Babona is also my favorite drummer. So I just have to say that. I can't be sitting here picking favorites.
I know, like you actually have.
I love you, Jonah, and Sean and Cody.
Like me and Sean go way back, like when you.
Well, everyone around here goes way back. I'm the new kid on the block, I guess. I've only been in the game for like 6 months here. Yeah. Well, but better late than never, right? Yeah. So.
Who brought you along into this mess? Who actually got you into?
My bassist Cody, who lives in the same town as I do. So, and then he introduced me to Sean and Jonah, and then their band Vauli. And it's a similar thing with the Keyholders too, because I want to say we were supposed to have more, but we only had one practice until our first show with me in Vauli. And they said the same thing, like, "Oh, we're so impressed. You learned it so fast." And I appreciate all that stuff that everyone says, and I really do. But I mean, it's just doing my homework. I mean, I showed up to practice, and I had my notebook and stuff. Like, it just goes to show that I sat down and listened to it. And there'll be more of that, and more practicing. But it's just, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm not going to, half-ass it. I want to do it the best I can. So,
Mrs. said, I know you said you don't really like covers, but you guys killed the Limp Bizkit song.
I watch that video like every other day. I have to. It's too good.
That was the hardest secret to keep. So anybody,
We did a great job too. I want to say keeping that secret.
Yeah, that was. I'm glad that we did that. That was fun. So anybody that knows me knows I've never done cover songs. Like with the only time I really ever did cover songs was when I was in hardcore bands, and we would like open our set with a cover of a band that didn't exist anymore, kind of thing. Like, because that was like in hardcore, it was like you'd like warm yourself up to a crowd or ingratiate yourself by playing a song that everybody fucking knew. You know, like my punk band would cover Depression by Black Flag, like stuff like that. But like, I working in like the motorcycle industry and like working in events and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of like bands that rely on covers, and then they're like, and here's one of ours that we wrote this week, and it's like, yo, just come out with your chest out, play your own joints.
For sure.
And so doing a cover, I was like very hesitant, but I just knew in my gut that this was going to be the right moment, the right place, the right time, the right audience, the right theme. And the fact that you guys both knew it and were on board with it, it was like, man, people were so hyped on that. And so many people hit me up afterwards being like, I cannot believe you played that. That was so good.
I mean, like even that as a talking piece, that they had a stranglehold on radio from 99 to like 2002 with both the Significant Other and Chocolate Starfish.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear anything else off the radio sometimes besides like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, what at the time?
New metal. How dare I? But yeah.
No, even Deftones was considered
new metal.
They're
Yeah,
like one of the best
Slipknot
bands ever, period.
You can put Slipknot in there if you wanted to.
Some people that frown upon new metal being a thing are the same people that will still listen to Korn to this day.
Yeah.
And they coined it, and they were the first ones. Limp Bizkit was just a different animal, and that song in particular was like a huge anthem in the turn of the century.
Yeah.
That
I feel like for the longest time it was like, you know, it's so cool to say I hate this band, I hate that band. Like everyone gave Nickelback so much shit for years, but like a lot of their catalog slaps and people know it. You know what I mean?
What's tough is like it's like anything, right? Where like we have a fondness for the new metal that we grew up with, but it's not to say that there wasn't a bunch of terrible ass new metal
right mixed in.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you just have to. But it's like.
But there's gems
you
in
can
there.
Still appreciate the ones who did it well for what they did, and also recognize that maybe some people were miscategorized. It's like I feel like punk metal and hardcore go through all this shit too, where it's like somebody will call something a metal band when it's like, no, that's actually a hardcore band. And I know that this is like nitpicking contextuality, but there's a reason that like this band is going to play over in column A instead of column C. And like, even like here, like I was watching your video from the Stone Shadows thing, which I'm excited to talk about, but it was like listening to that, dude, I was thinking about like Down.
Yeah,
like,
that's where we're kind of at.
And so it's
corrosion
like,
conformity type of stuff. Down, acid bath, you know.
And so it's like, where would you place that? Because that's not metal. You know what I mean? It's not fucking like hardcore. It's not, you know, but there is an entire like fleet of bands that play within that context.
I'm glad that you bring this up, because this has been like an inching thing with me, and I think I slightly brought it up at a practice that I kind of like went stuck in. I snuck into, and they let me in randomly.
Oh yeah, Axel was recently at a Vauli practice session, which was a lot of fun.
But I said this.
My boy said people who talk shit. People who shit talk new metal love E-Town Concrete. I love E-Town Concrete and new metal, so I can't really say much.
See, and like,
shout out to my boy Taylor. I got vocals coming for you soon.
So like, metal, right, has so many different like subgenres.
Yeah.
Me personally, I like thrash and all that stuff. I have a hidden love for sludge and halftime sludgy shit, like
hell yeah,
like Melvins or Sleep or Electric Wizard, stuff like that. Corrosion Conformity, Down. That like that to me is still metal. It's still metal. That's
yeah.
But like what nowadays, and it's a clear and present thing. It's not even like it's not a thing that I'm saying that's like controversial, but like metal has completely transformed and evolved since those days.
Yeah.
I get that.
It morphs all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the door just becomes wider.
Right.
And what's cool is like, I think for people like maybe people like us, people like some of the listeners. Okay, so this is interesting. So Michelle said metal is metal, and so
Right.
I don't disagree with that. But what I think where understanding subgenres does help us is like the layman's person that doesn't like intricately study music and bands and the people in these bands and go into shows and all this kind of shit. They just listen to music on streaming, surface level, whatever. You say metal and you expect them to be like, oh, well, that means they're into death metal, they're into black metal, they're into hardcore, they're into industrial is industrial metal.
Yeah.
But like a Nine Inch Nails fan and like a Cryptopsy fan and a Down fan, that's like three different highways, right? And like it's sick to like all of them, but if you don't like all of them, then it's like, where's my direction? And it's like, and I'm one of those people like growing up like a punk rock kid. It's like I wanted everybody to find their piece of punk rock, right? You know, it's like there's something for everybody in punk rock. If you're into melodic shit, if you're into political shit, if you're into grunge or thrash, or if you're into, you know, like ska, folk punk. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's an opening to get everybody into punk. You know, whether you like fucking Dropkick Murphys or MXPX or the Casualties or like Amoebics or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so
with a lot of the online discourse about all the genres and music and stuff like that nowadays, though, just some people just get so pretentious about it, and it's insane. Yeah,
it really does
makes me want to pull back from that and just do my thing. You know what I mean?
And that's why it's like I like to just like, I don't know how I would like to describe it, but like with the show listings, right? It's like I think people that only know me surface level would expect me to list a bunch of hip hop shows.
Right.
It's like when you know me, you know that that's like the furthest thing from what I'm into solely. And so it's like that's like kind of my way of like showing people my taste of like most of the shit that I talk about are things that I like would be at and am into. And it's like, and that's what makes me the artist that I am. And I think that's what that's where subgenres help, because it's like, I'm like you are a hip hop drummer, but you have a metal background, a rock background, a hip hop background, and so you bring all of these things to the table. And there's like it becomes like a language thing. I feel like it's like it provides a different level of language that it's like we know what we're talking about when we say certain subgenres or certain bands, or you know,
putting something in a box.
Yeah.
I snickered because I was gonna say, well, what genre is Zebrahead? Zebrahead goes hard. If anyone knows who Zebrahead is out there, very good rock and roll or metal mixed with hip hop. Another great band like that. So there's tons of them out there, and I'm pretty influenced by, you know, people like Zebrahead or Biscuit or Linkin Park or anything like that. So it's like it's a lot of fun. It gets me going, is what I'm trying to say, I suppose.
Yeah, like I'm also,
as well as the punk rock stuff too.
Shout out to Sean who said Zebrahead rips.
Fuck yes, I love Zebrahead.
I'm also not divisive. Like I don't mind certain genres beyond a certain means. There's a certain disconnect now when you're playing non-fast stuff. I love thrash metal and heavy metal more than the next person, but there seems to be sometimes that it has to be focused on one. Did I do something?
No. Sean said Dane raps too.
Oh, I thought I said Dane raps Tool. I have been known to throw down the proverbial bars here and there.
This is the first time this is.
Well, I had you on some backup vocals on our secret cover song, so I mean I'll bark some stuff out here and there. Yeah. Definitely no lead vocalist like anything, but I'm there. I'm there to uplift. I like to make other people sound better.
Okay.
That's my. I'm like a bassist almost in that way, but I'm not. I play guitar. I like to elevate the whole situation. I suppose that's kind of like what I like to do. Next week. Thank God. I wasn't ready.
Don't worry.
I had the date right though. I was like,
Yes,
on a
Tuesdays. Yeah, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my music days now.
Yeah,
That's what happens, folks. You get in demand and you start getting busy. Jeez Louise.
yeah. I'm always like Monday night podcast. Now I'm like Tuesday night music thing.
Boom, boom, boom. Bada bing.
So before I lose it, that again, like I don't mind certain things beyond a certain means. The disconnect for me now is like if you're not playing fast stuff that you're not deemed heavy or deemed heavy metal or just some weird trend, that's kind of going on that kind of negates all like the power stuff or halftime stuff because you need to be like Periphery or Rings of Saturn status.
Axel, who hurt you, bro?
No one.
Sorry.
Sorry. Stop yelling at me.
I know.
But see, it's funny because even at that, dude, like, I literally don't know any of those bands. Like, I've heard of Periphery, obviously, but it's like, I couldn't tell you shit about any of those bands, and all three of us are that entrenched in the heavy music world.
Yeah.
And that's where all of these, like, roads start dividing, is, like, I couldn't tell, like, you could tell me Rings of Saturn was a fucking Train cover band, or you could tell me they were, like, a polyphonic symphonic metal band, and I would be like, all right, I'll take your word for it, bro. Like, I got you. Like, and so that's where it's like, how do we better discover this stuff? I think that's where I was going before, and I like got off track. It's like subgenres can help us discover things that we otherwise like wouldn't know to look for.
Right.
And not put yourself in a box. I think it's good to be well-rounded. Like, for example, Vauli, yeah, we're a punk band. That's our main thing. That's our main squeeze. But I mean, we have some ska songs. We have some songs that you could probably throw in the metal category. And we have different reactions from different people. And it's good to throw a broad net, and be diverse, I think, because you can get different people moving, so to speak, during your show.
Yeah.
And that kind of what makes us like a fun band. You know what I mean? So, because we can play different types of things and have a different vibe, and it can change like that, and that's what makes it fun, I think, in my opinion.
I like that kind of like an historical aspect of it too, where it's like, like even like saying you have a ska song, like it's funny how much of like a joke ska has become in the last like decade or two. But like we all know like how nasty that, like whether you go back to like the specials and like more like UK prominent shit, or even more shit in our time, like a Big D and the Kids Table or a Catch-22
Street Light Manifesto,
Street Light, you know what I mean? Like, and so it's just one of those things. It's like, man, how do you tell the kids like, yeah, the joke is funny, but there's like some really great shit there too. Like
the joke of when did ska start was 1997 and it ended in 98.
I think ska just got a joke on The Simpsons recently.
Did it?
I think so.
Yeah. That random kid.
So I mean, pop culture. What is that? That's ska's on top of the world right now, I guess. And I say we have a ska song, but half of it's ska, and the half of it is us playing at 1,000 miles an hour and yelling. So, but it's still the ska song. So you guys can check that out on Spotify if you search Vauli, Spotify, iTunes. You know what's good. Hey, yes. I need to order more of those. Should I get it? Should I do bigger, or should I keep them that size? I think that's a good size.
Michelle just said save Ferris, and let me tell you, dude, I've
heard of them.
Dude, they're awesome, but I dropped the ball, dude, and I wanted to plug them in the where's the flyer? Dude, I lost the flyer, and I meant to add it into the show run. Save Ferris is going to be playing at Taffeta Music Hall in Lowell this June. Vauli.
Good thinking.
Vauli should be the opener on that show. and I'm gonna
Make it happen, internet people.
Hold on, let's get that going.
Remind me after this show, and I'll see if I can try and connect the dots.
Sean, make sure you open up your ears because we're talking about making things happen here.
Hashtag Vauli at
I can't find the flyer right now, but
It's okay. Don't stress it.
But it's in June. Save Ferris is playing Taffeta Music Hall. Oh man,
whoa,
dude,
that's pretty legit.
Yeah. And they do an awesome cover. That was like one of the things that they got super I want to say, is it 99? Yo,
99 Red Balloons.
Michelle, help me out. Was it 99 Red Balloons or was it another joint? They had a cover that they became super famous for. Come on, Eileen, that's what it was. Thank you. Yes, no, I saw you post it. I copied you. He said Jinx. Dude, yes. Save Ferris got super popular for their cover of Come On, Eileen.
Okay.
And it's so fucking good. And if they play that live in Lowell, I'm going to be so amped. I was gonna say something way more dramatic, but then I was like, that wasn't.
Well, there you
go.
I'll throw my underwear at that.
I was like, I will light myself on fire because I'm so hyped.
Well, you gotta I mean, Cody, now that's the power of covers, man. Sometimes a cover can blow you up, you never know. And then, my other band, we have like a couple covers, like 4 or 5 covers, but then we have 40 other songs that are our songs. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
If the cover band thing, not to go on a thing, but I just saw someone the other day on Instagram. It was like Not Green Day Band UK, and then there's the Red Not Chili Peppers. I mean, there's people making whole ass careers off of playing other band songs.
And I think that's
the Four Fighters.
I think that's
try to guess who that one is.
That shit kind of makes me. I think that's the stuff that makes it weird.
It makes me weird too.
I get that there's if there's a want for it, you go and fulfill the want. So it's like I can't be a hater, but it's just like.
I always sound like a hater. I always sound like I talk shit.
It's like pretentious or like purist of me or something, but it's just like I just want to hear what you can make.
I could never do that myself.
Yeah,
if that's your bag, bro, do it. Good for you.
More power to you. If that's
still sound like a hater,
but you're making somebody happy.
I did it for years. I did it for years as a drummer, backline drummer for Johnny Friday in Manchester. He used to do an open mic thing every Thursday over at Central Street Ale House. Used to be TJ's.
I think I remember that.
It was next to the Greek place.
Yeah.
Athens, I think it's called. Both buildings are gone, and they're now high rises because Manchester.
Yep.
But that's where I kind of I got my second start, and you do kind of lose a sense of self. No matter the sense when you're playing people's stuff all the time.
Or what's the other big one? Like Get the Let Out, that's a big Led Zeppelin cover band, and the guys are making full on careers doing it. It's just crazy.
My boy said Max Sabbath, probably the top.
Max Sabbath.
That's legit.
That's legit. Max Sabbath's legit.
I've definitely seen some videos like that. And even that, that's a little different because it's like parody almost at that point. It's not like Black Sabbath's coming to your neighborhood. And they're riding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like Red Hot Chili Peppers probably pretty frequently makes their way to Boston at least once every couple of years, if not anything else. You know what I mean? And certain things like that, you know what I mean? Like even a Beatles cover band. It's okay, bro. I get it.
There's a difference between covers and tribute.
Okay.
What you're talking about.
Educate me, please.
With the Led Zeppelin cover, or
well, the Led Zeppelin would be considered a tribute now that I'm thinking about it. That's what they call it on the radio.
The difference is if you're a cover band, you play a bunch of covers. If you're a tribute band,
it's the garb, it's the show, it's the whole. Okay, that makes sense.
There's a band out here, a Tool cover band, Tool tribute band called Schism. And they exclusively just play nothing but Tool, and they sound relatively like Tool.
And the guy looks just like Maynard and dresses up like him. And,
in a matter of sense,
right? So as close as possible.
But
anyway.
I guess even something like that for me is kind of weird because I'm bro, Tool literally just came to Manchester.
Right. It's not like they're not around.
If I wasn't, Dead Harrison just played over at WFMO over in Medford that same day, and
I don't know.
If that wasn't happening, chances are I would have been at that show because I have yet to see Primus in APC. I've already seen Tool twice. I've seen Pussifer already. So like, I need to see that last of the trifecta of me and James Keenan. So maybe next time, I guess.
I think the same thing that makes Mac Sabbath legit is the same thing that makes Guar legit. Because when Guar does covers,
Yep.
I fucking love Guar.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, same. Mushroomhead's done that too.
Even that, I guess, like Guar doing covers is
They have their own
different because
songs,
they have their
too.
own style.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so they're not trying to cover a song in the style of that
Right.
artist. They're doing it in
In
the
their-
style of Guar that they've
Or-
developed from writing
Yeah.
their own song.
Like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Yeah.
They do it their own way, and it's awesome. So yeah, I guess there's that.
I don't mind bands covering as long as they do that exact same thing. Like, at least do the song in its entirety for what the song is, but do it in your own way
Yeah.
that doesn't make it bad.
So I guess my beef is with tribute acts, and I wouldn't have known that unless you had told
Yeah.
me. So
Now we know who to aim to target. At.
that's right. Yeah.
Speaking of tribute acts, no, you can be part of it if you want to. I mean, okay.
Appreciate the invite.
But before even getting into that, like, do you like delay to that extent, like delay and reverb to that extent, like how Wes does it?
No, so like when I play with my band, I just plug into my amp, and I've gone to shows and venues and like, oh, dude, where's your pedal board, dude? And like, I don't have any of that stuff.
I like that. Just direct
in, and then I'll switch between pickups for like a clean-ish tone, for some ska tone, and then back just to punchy punk
Dude,
stuff.
Can I tell you though? And granted, like, take this for what it's worth.
Sure,
I
please.
haven't been a guitar player in a band in over 15 years plus at this point, but I was very much the same way. I had a 5115 Mark II, so I was like, I don't need no fucking pedals. Like, I'm plugging in. I got great tone.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Dude, if nothing else, a pedal board this size with a noise suppressor.
Yes, like a gate.
Like a noise suppressor, a tuner pedal, and maybe like one other kind of like thing that's gonna just like enhance your sound.
A chorus pedal.
I've been thinking about getting
I used to
the
do
tuner
that.
pedal so I don't have to have my snark anymore.
Even like, dude, that you ever seen? I forget what it's called.
Chromatic tuner.
Taylor, if you're still in here, you might know what I'm talking about, dude. Ibanez makes this green pedal that like it just like
With the
gives-
tube screamer.
The tube screamer.
Tube screamer.
Yes, dude. So
I only knew that because I saw it on Pat Finnerty's
Yes, of course.
his
jumped right in and said tube screamer.
tube screamer.
But I'm like, even something like that, dude, where it's like, just have a fucking noise suppressor, a tuner pedal, and fucking that thing.
Yeah.
And that way, and then it forces you to always keep good cables, and you just have the tools to keep your raw sound
Right.
as best as you want. You know, it's like you can still depend on your raw sound from the fucking settings, but
I'm definitely not like opposed to it. Just for my thing right at the moment, I haven't had a need for anything, especially in Vauli. Our music is so straightforward and to the point. I haven't had to fuss with it. I just kind of dialed in my sound, and that's about it.
That's fucking awesome.
And then I don't think I tweaked it either for the Cody Pope and the Keyholders show either. I think that was about my Vauli sound for when we put it into maximum overdrive. But it was the first time I played like clean in a while, so it was kind of nice to have, be a little bit more fluttery and soft and kind of underneath everything. It was kind of nice. I like that part of it.
People can play rock and be loud and all that stuff. And
Yes, that's easy.
That's fine. It's another level to play minimally, but also play light and accurate. Like, it has nothing to do with like jazz per se. I learned it in jazz, but like being a rock drummer, I thought I just had to be like on time and I was done. But like dynamics actually make it way more comparable.
Dynamics is a big thing on guitar, like pick attack and or playing with your fingers or whatever adapting to what fits. Obviously when you're in a studio or band practice you can dial things in, but sometimes you have to adapt on the fly.
Dude, I never thought of this. This is a great idea. Put your EQ in the FX loop.
Oh yes, I've heard that actually. That's like a key thing. That's something I want to do when we record our next album with Vauli. have lots of other ideas. We all started getting more ideas for the next one. So
Yes.
well, you make one and then you listen to it and it's great, and then you start, oh, maybe I would have done that different, or maybe this could have been this way, but that's just the way she goes sometimes.
No. To be transparent, I was telling you guys too the same thing, that I didn't have to do much, and that's when you guys have something.
Appreciate that, dude.
And I mean that in all sincerity.
We just mean it. We mean it. I think that's our key to what we got going on, is that we fucking mean it when we do it.
Yeah, you showed up with the equipment that you wanted. I only used the DI and miking up, and that's literally the most basic thing that you can do. And they had their level set at a certain point where I didn't have to do anything.
Axile recorded Vauli's latest album for some context on that, and no, you did a great job, man, and we really appreciate you.
It was, thank you. It's mostly due to the artist and how you guys sound, because if you guys didn't sound as good, I would have to do so much more. But you guys came.
Appreciate you, Michelle. Thank you. We love you.
Yeah, that's my friend Michelle.
Hell yeah.
I've been showing her. I was doing the editing with some of the video stuff from your guys' rehearsal.
Okay, right on.
And she was like, "Oh, I love this stuff," and immediately picked up her phone and subscribed. And
if you're out for a walk, or you're at the gym, or you're riding your skateboard, or you're pissed off at work, or you're in traffic, dude, put Vauli on, and it makes everything a little bit better. And you put it on Spotify, and not just us, it plays stuff adjacent to us too, and all that stuff's great also.
It gets you in the mood to just do things, or not do things.
Doing things.
Wahoo! We're doing things. So many things.
No, you guys killed it, because you guys had a certain sound already. You guys already knew what you wanted, and it was fun too. It was fun.
The process was fun, and it was my first time recording anything of, that wasn't on my phone notes. You know what I mean? So no, we'll hopefully do it again at some point for sure.
Yeah, take your time.
Speaking of time, I know I want to do a little time travel here, because we all kind of run on different timelines.
Sure.
And you had mentioned to us earlier, I forget if we were already on air or not, but you had mentioned to us how a lot of the stuff you're doing right now is very new to you, because the way that life panned out.
Sure.
Now you're getting the opportunity finally to pursue music and to do recording and to do
meeting
shows
so
and
many new
traveling.
people, meeting you, meeting Axile, my bandmates. I've been basically in this New Hampshire music scene for the last 8 months or so. I joined my band Vauli in Halloween of last year, and been kind of ripping it up with those guys ever since, and it's been really cool. I've been on podcasts and on the radio and playing a whole bunch of shows and meeting cool people like Cody and Axile, and being on this show. So it's been pretty cool, and it's all happened really fast. I started playing guitar when I was about 10, and up until, and I just turned 30. So for the last 20 years, I've just been playing in my room, waiting for something to happen. I've had kids and a job and all that sort of things. So now that they're a little bit older now, it's cool that I can, I guess these are my extracurricular activities, but I think it's cool and it's a lot of fun. I like making art and hanging out with my friends and making good music, rocking out. It's been a lot of fun, and all the cool things like this that have come with it. So, and we'll know on this Friday if we'll be on the Battle of the Bands Warped Tour in the top 6. So if Friday we will know. It will the 23rd, I believe. That is the day that they will post up who won and who will not win. So keep your fingers crossed for Vauli. That would be pretty insane. Top 6. Whoop. So
just a short amount of time too. Fucking amazing.
We're playing Kodo in Lowell in June. And I believe September 20th will be local here in New Hampshire and Manchester, playing at the Bad Burger. So you can check out all our stuff. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Just search Vauli, Vauli. You guys saw the sticker, and
You guys are on Instagram too.
Instagram, Facebook. We're on Spotify, Apple Music. For merch and CDs, you can go to volley.bandcamp.com, and that's kind of like our grassroots website where you can go check out and our stuff and help support us in any way you can. So thanks a lot.
Thank you for reminding me. I was supposed to change the banner like an hour ago.
Oh hell, that's all right.
better late than never. But
Awesome job, great job.
I'm doing a lot.
The fact is, you did it though.
But follow Axile via Thrax_drums on Instagram, and follow Dane via Dane Beebe 22 on Instagram. And if you want more information on booking Cody Pope and the Keyholders, all you got to do is visit cody-pope.com, and there's a booking form right there. Everything you need to know.
Those
Plug. Consider yourself plugged, Axel.
and you.
We've all just got plugged.
How
Let's
do you
go.
feel?
I feel good.
You feel good about the plug?
I feel good about the plug. You got to plug your shit nowadays.
First of many.
It's important. First of many.
Kind of along the same lines though. How did you get into music, and then when did it become like the thing that you were doing with most of your time?
I guess it was always a thing that I wanted to do when I was growing up. I just never had a real chance with life. But Nashville was kind of like where I kind of started, actually. Do you remember when it's next to Chicken and Chips? It's now like something lounge, but it used to be the 603 lounge.
Yep.
That it used to host like open mic nights before it really got like popping with club stuff. They used to have Nintendo Wii in the back.
Damn.
You know, with the pool table and stuff. So like they had like Nintendo Wii bowling championships sometimes and karaoke.
That's so crazy.
That's like the first year.
Was that peak humanity?
A little bit. I'm kind of dating myself now that like the Wii was still like peak Wii. Peak Wii-ness. Peak Wii. So like
We would like to play.
So like plus there was open mic night stuff and karaoke and whatever in the front there. So like I knew he's now part of Stone Shadows as well. My buddy Brandon Lanson, the Forefront. Me and him formed a band back in the day, and like we just played open mic night stuff, just random stuff, and like luckily there was a band there. And they graciously let us use their stuff. So like that was like my first like attempt, like 20 and 20 like 08, 09, maybe 2010. But like that was like the first start of it. And then doing open mic night with Johnny Friday in Manchester, moving out of here just to try different other stuff. So since then, I've been just in and out of projects, in and out of bands, studio situations, session. Then I started like doing my own drum stuff, my own videos. That became its own characteristic. So like it's kind of like my own resume, so to speak.
Yeah.
So then I started doing video game stuff, scores. So it became like an orchestration.
That's cool.
And I learned how to do audio engineering and mixing and mastering through that, because like you have to make it sound a certain way. You can't just like set it one tone. You have to like modulate it. But like video games are always like my first capturing of music, so to speak. Before like thrash metal or music or whatever regular, it was like Zelda, Sonic, Mario, Final Fantasy, Metroid.
I can still hear the Mario water level in my head. And like it's funny you say like it's one of your first things with music, because it's true. We all had little video games when we were kids, and this stuff will just stick with you for sure.
Those scores single-handedly
Iconic.
iconic, but also like gave me a beat structure without thinking. So like sometimes you would tap the controller a certain way, like the kick would be on one, the snare would be here, and you're just doing double stuff. So like video games kind of had its own caveat of like making me learn rhythm and beats and bass and guitar. So by the time I got into playing music with different other people, I already knew some type of substructure anyway. So it became my whole life just because it took me away from certain things I was doing back in the day, and it's given me way better of a value of life than not doing any of this. Like before any of this, I was just a pretty nerd playing video games and stuff. So like playing music.
I think we're all still nerds. We're definitely not. We're all nerds for sure.
But that's how I started.
It's only the cool stuff that's on camera. They don't see my box of Yu Yu Hakusho DVDs and shit like that. Like,
no one. We all have faces that we don't like we don't like other people to see, but we also like have inspirations that we want to emanate out to people and show people, hence entertainment shit that I like what I play and people like what I do, so in turn I like become a certain character on stage and become that.
I believe in that.
Thing, you know?
I've definitely like when I when I play with my band, or when I came out of my shell a little bit when we played that cover, like I turned into something else. I've always kind of wanted to be on stage, and I've had opportunities back in the day when I was younger here and there but it just didn't feel good. Now that I have good drums and a good band behind me and I get to do what I have to do, it flows right out of you. And you can see in some of my videos and with the video with you guys, like it just rock mode. Boom, it goes off like a rocket. It feels right. It feels like that's where I belong.
What was the second area that's on the questionnaire? Where did it start? What was the other?
You kind of tapped into it, like when did it become like? Because it's like I feel like for me, it's like and kind of same thing for you is like he started getting into music when he was like 10, but didn't have it consume his.
It took me 20 years to break into and have peers who like you guys and everyone else who are in music with us. So
for me, it was all kind of like around the same like.
Where Cody's been in this for a while.
Loving music, but I learned to play an instrument and joined a band all at the same time, and I was like 14, and I've just been like on that shit since.
Yeah.
But you kind of said it was like around like the early 2010s that you kind of like started going through different bands. And
yeah.
And then you've been doing Dead Harrison. You said for the last like 6 years now.
Yeah, I just talked about this too. I was in a band that shall not be named, so I'll call them Redacted. I was in a Redacted band locally around here, and I was working with the producer down the hall from where Dead Harrison performs and practices at. So at some point, the lead guy from Redacted was like trying to get me a different job other than playing drums for that band because they had different ideas, and like they hooked me up with Andre to do an audition, like on the fly audition. I never listened to their songs before, never knew it before. They're like, here you go, here's a band, you want to be in a band, here you go, play their songs. I'm like, so like they played stuff on the PA and I played to it, and they liked what I did and wanted me to come back. So that was in 2019 now. And since
doesn't sound that long ago.
It doesn't feel that long ago.
I always think of that as just like a couple of years ago.
But it was so like we've done so much since then, and they've done so much before me too. Like we've made leaps and bounds in our sound, our presence, how we present ourselves and play, because everybody else has gotten better too over time.
The whole thing tightens right up.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah, and there's just something about like walking in with these guys every week to harness, what everybody wants is a cohesive idea.
Yeah.
And we work really hard on it because we believe in it so much that like we want it to be the best version of it. We don't want to half-ass anything. We want to like note for note, sound for sound to sonically be the best that it can be. So we work hard on it. It was a work ethic I didn't think I had before. Because again, being the cover dude that like plays other people's music, I'm like, don't worry, I just got it out. I really had to pay attention. So it's made me a better person, better drummer, better musician, and it teaches me how to be good on the fly.
As long as we're getting better, not worse. I think that's the biggest thing.
For the uninitiated, how would you describe Dead Harrison to people? Because we love subgenres here on Cody
right.
Central.
Like subgenres of subgenres. We corner ourselves as being, a doom apocalyptic, doom rock, doom metal, and like we have like a Halloween aesthetic to us.
Yeah.
So like we have like a sound of to me it's different with the other guys, but at least as a general idea, it's like a mix between Typo Negative, Black Sabbath, and Misfits, all wrapped into one. And we're just very we're very punchy, we're very loud, we're very people dancing orientated. We want people to be dancing or
Getting people to dance is huge, no matter what you play. I think people dancing, I think that's what most people can.
Like if you can get people dancing, you have a show.
Right.
No matter what genre. Like
It's universal, I guess. You can get people to dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we've made our sound prevalent enough where we're loud enough, we're sludgy enough, but like you're gonna move one way or another. Like you're not just gonna stand there and like bob your head, which is one thing, but like getting people to homogeneously move around, that's key. And they've had that before I got even into the band. So like watching people actually respond to us as time went on is very endearing of the unique idea that Dead Harrison is. It's not for everybody, but for the right type of people, you can have the best of times. You go to a different planet listening to our stuff. You can sit down and vibe with a person or a musician
From a different planet and sit down and vibe with Dead Harrison.
Yeah. It just depends.
Yep.
That's similar to what I say about like Hellhound Publishing, is that Hellhound Publishing isn't for everybody, but it's for anybody.
Yeah.
We have different kinds of music, poetry, podcasts, also, all sorts of stuff. And it's really just a cultural and social aesthetic of how we like approach life. And that's what we like try to bring people on. So it's cool. That's kind of like reminiscent of what you do musically too. And you have a project that you've mentioned that is a little newer project that's going to be debuting this weekend called Stone Shadows. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah, that's a little bit more of a sludgier topic. It's mostly for the people that like down, Soundgarden or early Pantera, Acid Bath. Like it's the different type of areas that I liked growing up that I never really had a chance to, because either life or just haven't found the right people to make those sounds with.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I found the right people. We made the right things happen where we just have that sound. Like I can't even like really describe other than sludge, but like it's danceable, but it's heavy, and it doesn't.
I listened to it earlier.
Those are just
was
clips.
the video on Facebook? Is that where you posted that?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because I was thinking, and forgive me if this doesn't sound like it's right, but like heavy shoegaze, almost.
Exactly.
Is that like a good way to put it?
Yeah.
Almost.
Like failure, hum.
I love that.
Like it. Yes, I do like the term shoegaze. Call it what
Me
you
too.
want, but it's alt rock.
Yes.
Alt, I guess.
I love alt rock.
But like it for me, it's halftime. It's medium tempo, but it's still heavy because of like the tuning, sonically, the guitars, what the bass is doing.
Let me see. Chat, I'm going to try this. And if it doesn't work, you can't get mad at me. Let me shut off the background music real quick. Shout out, by the way, if you guys like this music, this sound bed is produced by Even Though, and the outro sound bed was produced by Byron G. You can find all their music on hellhoundpublishing.com. Let's see if I can share this. Share screen. See if I can play this clip for people.
Technically, you could because it's not copyrighted. None of our music's out yet.
So, chat, you're gonna have to let us know if.
Oh no, my page. Oh no. Yeah. Freeze frame.
Thought that was gonna.
Is it because it's all running?
Streaming and then putting that stream in.
Sounds fat though.
Video wise,
Probably audio. Sounds good though. How do you guys have like long? Like how long are you guys' song?
Like 4 to 6.
Okay, so like a good, reasonable. They don't go on forever, ever though. That's good.
All right, so that's a little bit of it. Sorry that was lagging so much. I was trying to play a video off Facebook into this stream, but hopefully you guys can hear the vibe. We'll find a way to share that video with you because it really is dope, and that's why, like, if you're into shit like Down, that's like right away. That's what I hear when I listen to it.
We do have a Facebook at Stone Shadows.
So there you go. Check out Stone Shadows on Facebook.
We literally don't have anything else right now. We haven't even started. It's been a year. It's been about 10, 11 months, but we've been really hard set on focusing on.
Yeah, and this is the first show this weekend.
This is our first show, and I'm more than excited.
Will you look into the camera and give them all the information for the show?
Yes, I believe I can do that. You have to look straight into the eyes, into the soul, the mind's eye. New England Underground presents at Terminus Underground in Nashua, New Hampshire, 134 Haines Street. Stone Shadows is opening up for our buddies, Wired for Sound, and also our other homies, The Forest Forgets. And it's going to be such a huge show. You do not want to miss this. If you love shoegaze and you love alternative rock, as Cody said in the earlier, get out of your house, support local music, support your local artists. Again, it's 134 Haines Street, Terminus, New Hampshire Underground, this Saturday.
Make sure you follow Axile via Thrax_drums on Instagram. Make sure you follow Dane via @DaneBeebe22 on Instagram. And if you want to bring Cody Pope and the Keyholders to a show near you, just head to cody-pope.com, and there's all the information and booking form right there.
Book us for your bar mitzvahs, your parties, gala,
Your quinceañeras.
True. Anywhere.
If you win something decent on DraftKings, you just want to celebrate anything, dude.
Straight up. I've played places you would never even imagine before. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, bro. He said, great interview, guys.
Hey, appreciate that. It's not easy being up here on the old internet, you know?
The best kind of interviews are when you're just like shooting the shit with people. Like, I try to like write questions. So like this screen right here is like literally just a whole Q&A thing.
Sure.
But it's so much easier when you just like have people that like you're talking, you know what I mean? Like some people I don't know at all. And that's why I'm like interviewing and
that's where it's beneficial to have
when you have like a rapport with people, it's easier to just like shoot the shit. And it's like, I don't really need the questions because we just have so much stuff that we've been wanting to talk about for so long anyways.
No, it's a good vibe.
Man, so debut Stone Shadows show this weekend. That's going to be exciting.
I'm just super excited just to get this off the ground. And
I'm going to try to get my ass there. I don't think I have much going on this weekend, so.
Well, I know everyone has lives, and there's a bunch of shows. This
I'll come support you, bro. I'll be there.
It's going to be also as a sneak area of a push here. My homie Adam Nickerson is performing with House Lights at Terminus the day before on the 23rd and Friday. Huge supporter of him. He used to be drummer of 10 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Way back. Was in the punk scene 20 years ago, like when he was really young. So like me and him have known each other for years. So like shout outs to Adam Nickerson. Get to a house light show at some point. Really good stuff. It's like metalcore. It's like metalcore with like really dope lyrics and just reminiscent of like that old Killswitch Engage area type of area.
Hell yeah.
Like very, very good. Top notch.
Thanks, honey. We love you too. All of us.
That's true. What's the next Vauli show on the docket?
Let me check it. And the next one, recording.
Plug that plug.
I know, seriously. I do have it right here pulled up. Should be June 7th at Kodo.
In Salem or Lowell?
In Lowell. But then I have a flyer here that also says Kodo Lowell for Saturday, June 28th, with Already Dead, the McGunks, and Autumn Astronauts. Doors are at 9 p.m. and that is at 76 Merrimack Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. $10 out the door, 21 plus. So we'll see you there. If you want to see Vauli, Already Dead, the McGunks, and Autumn Astronauts, you can find us there at Saturday, June 28th.
So I know that Vauli has been doing a lot to grow their following here in the Western punk world.
Yes.
But how do you guys feel about perhaps taking the Vauli sound internationally?
It's funny you bring that up. So we're hoping that we have a very good first impression when we go to Japan in August. We are leaving August 3rd to go to Okinawa, Japan for a week, and we have 2 shows lined up, one at Peace Bar and one at Remy's. So if any of you listeners find yourself in Okinawa, Japan in the beginning of August, you could bump into your boys at Vauli. So we'll see you in Okinawa. Sayonara.
What was the coin term? Morio Mogato, Mr. Roboto.
I believe
Domo.
Domo Origato, Mr. Roboto. Thanks for reminding me about that. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting tidbit. I feel like not every day.
Yeah, it's on our roster. We have a roster of shows.
I'm like, you guys like, yeah, I've been doing music for 8 months, but catch me in Japan this summer. I'll see you there.
I'm popping off.
Like, hey, do you need a merch person?
You put me in the tote. Just put me in the stove.
Yeah, I'll do merch. You can be the drum tech.
Well, the thing too is that we did it so far in advance. Really, the hotel and the there and back tickets were rather reasonable. You know, I'm not gonna put any figures out there, but it was. It's not as bad as you think to go. So far, the biggest pain in the butt and finance wise is getting your passports and if you don't have all that stuff in order, making sure that's all groovy and good to go before you leave. But other than that, it's pretty exciting. And I haven't really taken like a real vacation like this in a while. It's gonna be some music stuff too, but it's kind of like a vacation. So
that's super.
It's gonna be a rad week with the boys for sure. So
I literally just got back from having that exact same excursion with Dead Harrison. Actually, we just went to Pittsburgh, New Hampshire.
Okay, that's a haul.
Basically, like a couple of miles away from the Canadian border.
Okay.
But like we did it exactly just like that. Like we booked it and our intention was just like to hang out with each other, work on music, and just
It's like a bonding thing.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
And every vacation I've ever taken in the last 10 years has been with my family or my kids or stuff like that. And usually going to go see family, and, you know, doesn't feel like much like a vacation when you're trying to orchestrate everything and driving everywhere.
It
And
seems like a job.
it seems like a job, right? It's funny. Yeah. You know, so this will be the first time ever in a long time that I'll be able to wild out, so as they say. So it'll be a lot of fun. Watch out, Okinawa. Vauli's coming. We're going to rock.
Not that volley, this volley.
That Vauli.
Shout out to Keith and Jen in the chat. Keith and Jen are always up in the program with us. Appreciate you guys tuning in, even if you're late and getting out of work. It's okay. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate you. Lots to learn about these guys. Super excited to have them in the spot with me. One thing that we didn't do that I made Axel do is, for the uninitiated, how would you describe Vauli to listeners that are waiting until after the show is done to go stream it online?
Absolutely. I've mentioned it like this before, and my vocalist Sean adores how I put it, but I'd say it's like punk rock slam poetry, because, you know, that I think that's the best way to put it. And we're a lot of fun. We're a fun, punchy punk rock band, and I think we have a little bit of everything for everybody. In the punk rock stratosphere, anyways.
What's
so
the best place for people to find Vauli music?
Yeah, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes Music, or Apple Music rather. We're on YouTube if you search Vauli, spelled like that, on the 20 milligram pilly, the Vauli pilly. And we're search Vauli on Instagram, Facebook. We do live videos sometimes. We've had Axel come to our practice spot and record some of us stuff. It's like a fly on the wall. We'll just act like he's not there, and
I mean, I practically wasn't there. I did not matter. Like, after a while, I like how you guys work together, not even as a team, but it's just like four dudes just playing music and shooting the shit.
Yeah,
it's not about like taking yourself seriously, which you guys do.
We like to do a certain extent. We like to sound good. We don't. Obviously, there's another punk ethos where it's like, oh well, if we sound like shit, who cares? You know what I mean? We care about that we sound all right.
You do
enough, anyways. But yeah, appreciate that, man.
I like the atmosphere and the clips I've seen online, like Sean getting hit in the head with the chair.
It was a wet floor sign. My vocalist got impaled in the face with a wet floor sign live at a show during one of our songs, and he didn't skip a beat. It was the most peak professionalism I've ever witnessed in my life. So shout out Sean Mitchell. I'm sure he's
shit, homie.
Yeah, we love you, Sean.
We love you, Sean.
That was legendary. So yeah, so if you want to see, you know, a small statured man get pelted in the face with a wet floor sign, you can find a video of that on our Facebook if you search Vauli. So I mean, there's a whole bunch of golden nuggets on there. You can go check out.
Or go to a show.
Or come to a next show
Get out
and
of your house.
bring your own wet floor sign.
Go to a show.
Stop looking at the screen.
Go to a show.
Go, bro. Or brah.
Them, they, you, whoever.
Whomever.
So I'm gonna twist things a bit. Just throw it out there. So normally I tell the chat, I'm like, yo, chat, if you at any point in the show have questions for our guests, let me know. We'll pick our favorite ones, throw them on screen, But I just saw a comment that I think allows us to ask questions to the comment.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Our friend Jennifer, who watches the show very often, said, first full month with Traveling Carnival.
Okay.
I am very curious to know about how the Traveling Carnival is going for you. Can you give us a little information on what that experience is like for you?
Yeah. How do you travel? Is it by train? Is it by, tour bus.
That is like as I feel like as performers, like that's kind of a wild thing to be on a traveling carnival. Like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
About that.
I used to be a carny.
Really?
And that's kind of.
That's cool as hell.
I had a life, guys.
He said I had a life.
I had a life. I have stories, good and bad ones, but mostly good. When I was like a teenager, used to be in and out of. I guess it started off doing like fairs, but then getting in with certain companies. It's a life.
I had a really good friend of mine back in the day. Him and his aunt, they worked at like Fright Kingdom in Nashua, so they get
Same
murderous clown makeup, and he was like a little kid at the time. They just needed people. He just do it for the fun of it, or maybe they give him like $20 at the end of the night.
Said the plot thickens. Then Jen said, "It's going well, and hate teenagers, and we travel by
vans." Yo, that's crazy. Well, shout out to you. Hopefully, more people come to your carnival and you get paid good.
I was hoping you guys were on like a 1940s train and there was elephants in one car.
They're not hobos.
I know.
They're not hobos.
Or they're not in a clown car.
I know, but it just sounds like such an authentic clown experience to be like, all right, you guys sleep in this one, and then the elephants in this one, and the tigers are in this one, and then the wealthy.
Yeah, like a traveling circus.
Yeah.
Like,
or is it one of those carnivals where it's like, they bring all like the, rushly put together amusement rides that are wicked sketchy and stuff like that.
Probably like old.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like old school, like, it has the freaking cage train car with the lions in it and stuff. Like, it's probably not that.
No,
rolling through Main Street, Nashua, coming across the tracks. Me too. I hope.
$19 an hour. All right.
Hey, damn.
It's decent. It's decent.
That sounds like a good time.
So, if this is a carnival of some sort, what's the job? What are
True.
you?
Yeah. What are you doing at the carnival?
Are you foods, concessions, which is cool? I've done concessions. That's a lot easier.
No, it's got to be like lion tamer or like dragon
milker.
Yeah,
dragon milker. Sir, what's your job description? I'm a
dunk tank engineer.
Hopefully she's not like an elephant poo-poo cleaner upper.
Ah, man.
Even at that though, that's still like you're still rocking with the elephants.
Yeah, that's true. You get to hang out with elephants.
I hate you.
No one else. No.
Well played. He said, my buddy Ryan said, if that rolled through Main Street, I wonder if I got sucked into a horror movie.
That would be heinous. I don't think trains roll through there ever.
Called Rockwell Amusements.
Okay, sure. Okay. So it's like the one that travel. There'll be one. Where would they put it? They're always somewhere. The Brookline will have one, and then it'll travel to the next town.
Right. It's like it's what they do. They do it in Hudson.
Old Homestay, right?
You know where past Alvern High School is?
Yep.
A little bit past where that big, huge field is or whatever?
Yeah.
That's where I actually technically started one of my excursions.
They did one at
Fiesta shows.
That Exit 6 where the Denny's was.
Yep.
They'll do a carnival there.
Thing in Manchester, too, over by JFK Memorial or JFK Coliseum.
Yeah.
That big parking lot, they'll just post up for like 9-10 days. And just
they make the amusement park rides so they have fifth wheel pins and can be like loaded up, and like the amusement ride is the trailer when they load it up and they haul it.
Yeah.
You've seen them going down the road.
There's a couple of them like that.
Dude. Okay.
Well, God bless you. I hope you're safe out there. The road is not an easy place to be. So we will hope you're doing good.
Chat, new goal for 2025. We got to figure out how to get Cody Pope and the Keyholders booked at Canopy Lake Park.
Dude, send it.
How fun would that be if we played at nighttime at Canopy Lake
That'd be
Park?
pretty wild.
We play it from like 5 to 7, and then we have like 2 hours to go on rides and get drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
I heard there was like a Taylor Swift lookalike who just played over there, who just played at Canopy Lake.
You know what they mostly play?
Pretty much the same thing as us.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Slightly on the same plane of existence. They mostly have like tribute and cover bands there.
Makes sense.
like more often than not, there's also like a theater on the other side too. Like
So we'll book ourselves as a Cody Pope tribute band.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, technically, that's kind of what we're doing. We're playing to your music, but our own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration. Yeah.
So if you're looking to book a Cody Pope tribute band called Cody Pope and the Keyholders,
Psych, gotcha.
Some days I wake up,
you know,
wish I had it. I'm gonna ride all the rides. I can't be late.
Let me show you guys this shit though, just in case you guys, in case you guys want to help us get booked, right? So, boom, boom. I love it. Ryan said Cody Pope tribute bands. All right. So, if you, your friend, your uncle, whoever wants to book us for a show,
Your rabbi.
yeah. So you just come to this little website right here. It's cody-pope.com. And boom. Book for a concert. You want me? You want me and Byron? You want me and the homies? Just scroll down. Put your info in. And then just go and pick live band. That's us. That's Dane. That's Axile. Oops, I went too far.
So easy, so streamlined,
Yeah.
so sleek.
Just fill it out, submit it, and we will get it booked. We would love to come and rock with you guys. So
I'm gonna go home after this and practice tonight for your booking us.
hell yeah.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Cody Pope.
That's right.
Maybe it's Cody Pope.
The fact that you did it in cadence.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I take my job as a vocalist very seriously.
Mentos, the Keyholders.
Oh man. All right. Well, I've taken up a lot of your guys' time, and I appreciate you guys for coming through and doing this. So I won't hold you up too much longer.
No, thanks for having us on, brother.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun.
Super thrilled that we got to do this. Hopefully you guys go and check out all of your wife said it's a little late for that, Dane.
What am I late for? I forget.
What was the context?
I forget what the context was.
I missed it too.
I don't know. Me forgetting something my wife remembered. Shocking.
All right, so final plugs. Yourself, your band, anywhere. Oh, you know what? One more thing before maybe this will fall in line with that, but you guys mentioned in passing that you engineered Vauli's latest record.
Yes.
How does one get in contact with you if they would like you to engineer their project or to hear samples of works that you've engineered or anything of the sort?
Besides going out and getting a Vauli CD or going out and downloading it or getting it, that's one way. You can usually directly message me either on Instagram or Facebook. I do have that flyer for certain things, but my email being axilbeighley@gmail.com.
Oh,
You can.
good. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
I didn't see that. Oh well, I suck. Here I am in a one-track
You're good.
line.
You're doing great.
What the?
Don't worry, it was my bad.
No, Facebook, Instagram, directly message me, and we'll talk shop. Relatively easy to work with, just because it's as long as you have your stuff together, let's work on stuff. And I do engineering for any type of stuff. I can do vocals, I do drumming stuff, I do tracking. I also do drum instructor type of stuff. So if you want to learn drums, you want to learn some basicalities and how to do the basic stuff to get you going, let me know as well. So kind of well-rounded in the audio and drumming field.
I like that.
Don't miss out.
But also deadharrison.com. Go to deadharrison.com and get the latest updates on when we play stuff, which will be June 13th over in Peabody, Mass. We're playing at a 2-day festival for our friend Krista at Symphonics Labs. I think it's called Rainbow Fest. I'm not exactly sure, but get your tickets now. Wherever you can get that. I have no idea right now. But deadharrison.com, you can have all the latest stuff with our latest album that we just came out with last year, None for All. You can get that album. We're still trying to put out. And we have merch upon merch. We have beanies, hats, shirts, grenade launchers, which is basically, or flamethrowers. So,
hell yeah. That's proper good merch.
So, like, whatever you want from Dead Harrison, you can go to deadharrison.com, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. Deezer Music, iHeart Music, Pandora, whether
Pandora, I haven't heard that one in a
Music.
while. Wow.
yeah, Deezer, everywhere. deadharrison.com. Get your stuff, son.
Nice website. I need a website.
Yeah, you do.
Thank
I
you.
tell everybody they need a website.
Our
I know.
Our manager works hard on it. Shout outs to Eleanor Luna, our band manager. She works hard to get us where we are. Also, she manages and owns New Hampshire Underground.
Wonderful lady.
So if you ever want to get into Terminus Underground, message her directly, and you can play in the only Nashua's Underground venue only.
She's a previous Cody Central guest, so watch her episode from a few weeks back where she talks all about her experience in like music industry and booking and developing the New Hampshire Underground movement and all the stuff that they have going on. So make sure you check out Dead Harrison for upcoming shows and all this good stuff.
If you arrive, you survive.
Ooh, okay. See you out here. Got some last minute slogans on us. If you arrive, you survive. All right. Dane, final plugs. Let the people know.
Yeah, you can check out my band Vauli on Instagram and Facebook. Spelled just like that. Vauli666 on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Vauli.bandcamp.com is where you can find our CD. It's where you can find our merch, where you can find stickers when I order more. I think we have patches. And then you can follow me. It says right down below in the doobly do. And you can follow me at Dane Beebe 22 on IG. And I'm going to keep on rocking for y'all. So appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Dude, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. This was such a blast. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you guys follow them. I'll leave the banner up for a little longer. Make sure you go listen to Vauli. Go listen to Dead Harrison. Make sure you check out the Stone Shadows debut show this weekend. Going down at Terminus in Nashua.
I'll be there. And he's going to be there. We're both going to be there.
They're going to be there.
I have to be there.
So come give your boys a
He
shout.
has to be there. So, and you guys, thank you so much. I know it's been a while, the last couple of weeks with the podcast, with everything I've had going on and random guest cancellations and all of this kind of shit. So thank you guys for riding with us on the show. We got some really cool stuff planned. If we get some more sponsorships soon, we're going to hopefully get some extra gear here soon to really build things up. We're going to get a new interface soon, get some extra shit to just keep building this thing up. So thank you guys for all the support. Appreciate you guys so much. We're going to be back next week with a crazy episode going on. I'll let you guys know in a little bit who that's going to be when we make the announcement and do all the new video uploads and all that. But for now, I'm going to say thank you guys so much. Go back to this and check out the event run at the top of the episode and start ordering tickets for all the stuff that you want to go to. If you want to bring Big Cody Pope to your town, please visit cody-pope.com. You can get booking inquiries done there. You can see videos. You can see reviews. You can get all the latest music. Everything is right there. Cody-pope.com, hellhoundpublishing.com, Hellhound Tour Underground. Much love, everybody, for tuning in.
This program was written, produced, and created for live stream broadcast by Cody Pope. To learn more about Cody Pope and Storytellers Creative Services, please visit www.hellhoundpublishing.com/services.
Cody here. Thank you so much for being part of another episode of Cody Central with me. If you'd like to support the program and help me sustain and grow the show, please consider checking out the QR codes below, which include my latest album release, our Patreon channel, as well as general donation links to help us offset some of our programming costs, such as our streaming platform and studio rent. I've also launched a fundraising initiative directly through the Hellhound Publishing website. For any of the increments shown, you can promote your event, service, album, product, merchandise, podcast, business, or whatever it is you have, in addition to a number of other benefits. Check out the website for more details and an easy way to contribute to the cause.
Okay.